Hey Taurus, good to see ya. Come on in, make yourself comfortable, sit for a spell. We're going to tap into your energy and see what quest is before you that leads you into the unknown future with this Aries Hunter's Harvest Moon that's coming in on the 6th. It's going to be quite a celestial spectacle, so I do encourage you to go out for a little moon bathing, moon gazing if you get an opportunity to do that, because there's going to be quite a sight to see in that sea of blue, all right? Or dark blue. I don't know. It'll probably be pretty blue with all the light coming in. Already the moon's been really bright over the past few nights, but this is for any significant Taurus placement, or if you have Scorpio rising, that makes you a Taurus Descendant. So let's just drop in and check out what's coming in here. I'm going to open up with first kind of getting an overarching theme. I was drawn to the Halloween oracle here, so we're going to begin with that, and where we go from there, I don't know. So there might be something that you're just sort of playing fast and loose right now. You're trying to just adapt as things come your way rather than staying within any kind of fixed framework, which I think is excellent, Taurus. Maybe there's something you really learned when you had Uranus in your sign about just kind of going with the flow and being more spontaneous. I think that that's a good route at this time with the energy that's rolling out, to just sort of take things as they come, right? So I feel like you're maybe dropping some of your fixed ideas about the situations that you've been navigating here. It's always a good way to go. Just be open. Just be open. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is what brings you into a state of synergy and healing. And I do feel like something's getting cooking here in just the right way. Cauldron of Dagda energy. This is good. All right. I like that. Good, strong way to start out. Right. You might also be finding that you're really enjoying cooking. Maybe you're doing a little, ooh, cardinal just dropped down here. Okay, there's some kind of joy coming in here for you. That's a positive sign. Some kind of joy, some kind of sweetness coming into your life. If you've been pondering when it was going to be your time, or when something was going to come in to sort of sweeten the pot, so to speak, you might be getting a little clue from the other side. Usually cardinal is also messages from those who've passed on, letting you know that they're looking after you. And it also promises that there are sweet things coming into view here. So I like this for you. Really good energy. Also in this particular deck, cardinal comes in with hidden talents. So you might discover that you have a talent that you weren't aware you had. This might be something that you're going to start cultivating. Maybe you're going to finally take the risk to put yourself out there and share a certain ability that you've discovered you possess. Ooh, and with this we got hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So this is excellent. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I kind of got this impression of you at the stove, like stirring up a pot of something. So I don't know if you're crafting something here. You might be crafting tinctures, or you could be crafting special brews, or maybe you're making up a really warming potpourri that fills the house with a certain kind of warmth and ambiance. You might be bringing more of your metaphysical work into the kitchen. I got a little kind of like kitchen witching sort of energy coming in here, a little bit of wild crafting energy coming in. Maybe you're working with plants. Maybe you're working with plants to make like special alchemical tinctures, things of this nature. I also feel like you're using your talents, your abilities that maybe you used to direct in a different way, to just infuse your home with a certain quality, a certain warmth, a certain ambiance. So this is some cool energy. You might also just really be infusing your personal space with sort of a warding energy, a protective energy. I do have the sense here too that you're like really stirring in certain qualities into your food. You're cooking up stews and foods of the season, but as you do, you're putting a little extra something in there, okay? We do have a blind spot here on the bottom of the deck, okay? So if you are working on this level, make sure that you're keeping it above board, okay? That's important. And if you know somebody who does a little kitchen witching and they're offering you some kind of food or brew, you might want to think twice about that. Just with that coming in, all right? And you might want to ward from that, especially if you want to preserve some kind of happiness in your heart and home. All right, that was interesting. Well, that took a turn. I do feel like it is a little bit of a dualistic message, okay? Good for you to do for yourself, not so good to take on stuff from other people. You know, the energy is just kind of interesting out there right now. See, look, that's wild. It came out. Night Song. Hidden talents, okay? You do have some kind of hidden talent here. And there is something that's coming through from one who has passed on here. Maybe somebody that you still feel really connected to, even though they're no longer on this earthly plane. You always feel like they're right next to you. And it's true. Eternal love here. Love, and it transcends physical death. And I do feel like maybe this is a certain talent you have too. You have that ability. You have the ability to communicate with those who've passed beyond the veil. You might be experiencing the awakening of mediumship, if that's something you haven't been used to. And if it is something that you've been aware of, I do feel like maybe this is opening up greater. Maybe there's some kind of work you're doing. You're helping those who may feel kind of stuck in an in-between place, a sort of bardo space, be able to transition to the other side. I do feel like there is something that's coming in here. You know, this is the time of year when the veil does start to thin. I really do feel like it's been coming on more early though, just with all the energy swirling about in the atmosphere. But I do feel like this is something pretty notable coming through that's guidance for you. And it's something you're meant to act on. It might even be encouragement coming from the other side about now's the time, you know, now's the time to really bring your talents forward or activate that dream. And maybe this is somebody who always was really in your corner, really encouraged you, was your biggest supporter. And they're just coming through saying, hey, I still believe in you. Also, there's something about protection here, you know, ancestral protection coming through, and also tapping your roots, tapping the lineage of your bloodline in terms of your personal empowerments, your spiritual empowerments. And that came in at 8 on the clock. So yes, this could have something to do with overcoming some challenges in relation to your past. There could be Leo energy connected to this. Let's get some more details coming in here for Taurus. What is this coming in for Taurus? You might be working with fire element a bit. You might want to do a good burn just to release some old energy, you know. You can write things that you want to release on bay leaves and cast them into a fire. And that's a great way to just not only bring in some clearing and blessing energy into the home, it can invite in prosperity, but it also is very cleansing. It just helps get all the funk out. And I'm not talking the good funk like Rick James. I'm talking more like, you know, that funky, kind of stale, hanger-on sort of energy here. But I like this because it does look like there's a lot coming in to really fill your heart and your home with a sense of warmth and happiness. And that this is warded. And you do have a real connection with your ancestors. And I'm getting a special connection with someone in particular. Maybe even somebody that passed on somewhat recently, within the past year. They might really be on your mind at this time, right? And working your talents, okay? Letting the hidden talents come forward, right? So I almost feel like this is like an encouragement coming, like you can do it, like put yourself out there. There is still a blind spot here though. It's a crossing energy, all right? And so just with that message that came in here, there might be a little area that you need to pay attention to. When I think of the blind spot is something that's often associated with the 12th house. And we are closing up a major karmic cycle here. It goes way back. It goes all the way back to 2009, tail end of 2009. This whole Pluto territory that we're really navigating here, which is an underworld sort of energy. I mean, there might be something you need to dig deep for to really discover, to be able to close out a particular karmic cycle. Maybe there was something that you had a blind spot around, and now there's illumination coming in here. Be prepared. I mean, I do feel like that full moon in Aries is really going to light up the landscape. There's going to be things that you didn't see that are now going to be evident, and this might change the way you move. So if you are considering, you know, taking some kind of action, it's interesting. It's kind of coming in as a similar message to what came in for Pisces. So you could be dealing with the Pisces. There could be a connecting point there. You might want to drop in on the Pisces download. They got a real similar message here. I would be aware of getting a little moment to assess the situation, survey the landscape, because there are still some shadowy aspects out there. 11:29 on the clock. I'm telling you, 11:11, it'll bring you into proper alignment here. It feels like it's coming in as sort of like a little bit of a protective cautioning, to not be so quick to act when you don't really have a true understanding of the nature of the situation you're dealing with here, or who you are dealing with here. Yes, do you see? You're in the underworld territory here. You're in that deep dive of Persephone, where you may be dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight a little bit, and you might not be aware of it until all the lights come on in the room with that full moon. And then you will get the pearls of Persephone. Then you will get that knowledge, that hidden knowledge you need, that will allow you to transform something here. But right now it's saying to pause, okay? Before you begin something here, pause, right? There might be something that you're considering doing that's using too much force, or it's misaimed. It's not focused in the right direction or something. Give me more details about this, Spirit. What is this coming in for Taurus? Or you could have somebody that you're not aware is directing some energy towards you, and you need to have this revealed to you. I don't know. I just got this thing about food. Like, don't take food from somebody that you feel sketchy about. It could be charmed. They could have a little of an enchantment over it, all right? I'm just saying. And also, you know, if you're breaking bread with people and they don't have your best interests at heart, you know, sometimes that can be taking in some less than savory energy as well. It doesn't always have to be that somebody put something in the food, all right? Something is currently cloaked. Whoever this character is that you've been dealing with, they've had a cloak of imperceptibility, but that's about to be exposed. This person is going to be outed, and you're going to see what was once invisible with clear authenticity and transparency. So let the lights come on in the room. And again, it comes in. The sacredness of pausing, and look at that full moon energy hanging out back there. There's something here that needs to fall away, but you're not going to be able to see it if you're too quick to take an action. And I really feel at the end of the day, this is about protecting your heart, your home, and the happiness that's there, and something that is really going to give you a sense of satisfaction. I think it's something you'll realize by the time winter arrives, that you were wise to wait before you took some kind of preemptive strike. Again, drop in on the Pisces read. Real similar message. You could have a strong Pisces placement, okay? You need to double back to that message here. Cut the deck here, and then we'll see what we got. I mean, there is some kind of temptation here that you are weighing up. You know, should I take a bite of that apple? It's tempting. It looks like a pretty polished apple, but is it rotten to the core? And it makes me think of like Snow White and that apple that, you know, the witch is extending. Oh, it looks so tasty. It looks like such a treat until you're put into a deep sleep. And there is something here that it looks like it might be some kind of friendly offering. There's like a flower here, but really that flower is in a serpent's mouth. So there could be some kind of deception there. There could be a Scorpio connection to this. There's something that's in need of transformation, but in order to really see through this and see through a certain illusion, you're going to have to activate your higher knowledge and your self-knowledge, okay? Forgiveness, reducing the burden, right? So this is about letting something go, releasing something here too. I just heard make sure you're releasing the correct things here, okay? Make sure you're releasing the correct things. What do I want to bring in here? Yeah, okay. I got the occult tarot coming in here with the angel tarot. Little angels and imps, and I know I'm on the right track because I'm suddenly feeling like this blockage wants to come in around the throat. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's coming in here. What is coming in for Taurus? What is coming in on this quest for Taurus with this full moon? This full moon lunar cycle will be heading us into the dark phase territory after it comes to its point of ripeness. And that will lead us up to the Libra new moon that is cusping Scorpio season. 17:07 on the clock there. Yeah, there's something about pausing just a moment there. If you pause for a moment, you'll get a clear direction of where you should chart your course with your chariot that leads to your stargate that will take you straight up to that north node and transform a hand of fate into the stuff of your destiny. But there are more details that need to come in here. There's a blind spot. You could be dealing with a frenemy energy. You could be dealing with a subconscious aspect of yourself. 17:44 on the clock. That very well could be. That breaks down to double eights, okay? This is related to something in the past that you need to exercise, maybe the strength of restraint, not to be so quick to act. Maybe you're used to taking action. I was really drawn to the color red for your reading. So you might be just real quick to sort of like fire something off or take some action, and then you could feel like, oh gosh, I wish I would have waited, because something will come into view that will temper the way you see the situation. All right, you need more details here because 8 and 8 is 16, and that can bring a tower. Now you want this to be a tower of power, so it leads to your chariot. Breaks down to 7. Okay, so you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be dealing with a Leo rising. They are Aquarius descendants, or you could have any of these placements in your chart. Be dealing with a Cancer. Okay, let me get some more details here for Taurus. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles, okay? Yes, wait to receive the receipts. You're going to get the knowledge you need, and then you'll know the correct action to take to set things in motion. This will provide you with some kind of intellectual lucidity. And this could even be around your work in some way, or something you do, something that maybe another person wants to, you know, hitch a ride on. They want to ride on your coattails, so to speak, or they want to partner on something. You may initially think, oh, this is a really good idea to bring this person in. You might regret that, okay? Because I do feel like you have something here that you do need to preserve and protect, and it's something yours and yours alone. Yes, 6 of Swords here, and right behind that we have the 7 of Swords, okay? See, somebody might be presenting it to you like, oh, it's a win-win situation, or I can really help you out with this. But really, this person's the one looking for a come up. Don't let them play you like a pawn, okay? If you give a little time to get some illumination, you'll understand what really works for you and works against you, okay? This will protect you from any missteps here. You don't want any misfires either, especially in relation to any kind of alchemical work. There's also something here where you might be considering taking an action that if you really drop in with it, if you take some time, and if you sit with what's bubbling up subconsciously in you, you might realize that that might be a little bit of a gray area, and maybe I really shouldn't do that, but I just want to do that because I'm really pissed off, okay? Don't do that. It'll work against you. Give some time, okay? Things are going to balance out. You may not see it right now, but they will, okay? Got 6 of Pentacles coming in here. Something's going to come in that's going to calm this sense of anger or rage. It could even be rage you're feeling. Also, somebody you may be misdirecting that anger toward, because it says here it will absolve the guilty, okay? So you might be, trying to pin something on somebody that is unjustified, okay? So again, hold your horses. It's like a similar message as with Pisces. Pretty wild. You might be dealing with a Pisces in this situation. This could have something to do with a relationship or a marriage too, because the figure in that 6 of Pentacles has 2 rings. 2 rings on a pillow. So this could have something to do with a marriage, right? Just give it some time. If you suspect that, your partner is cheating on you, or somebody's double crossing you that you've been teamed up with something on, or, maybe somebody you live with, you suspect that they're keeping secrets from you, that might be stuff that's coming from past experiences, old shadow stuff from previous relationships you've been in that you need to clear out, because you could wrongly accuse somebody and that could be very problematic. Yeah, there's something here you need to bring to light, Taurus, with the 9 of Pentacles. There's something that's operating in the root cellar here that you need to light up and look at. This will provide you with the light of understanding. It will give you the knowledge you need to cure what ails you, because this is something that's causing problems in a situation that doesn't need to be here. Could be in relation to another earth sign like you, okay? We do got your energy here, but Virgo, Capricorn could be in the mix. Slow your roll, all right? I'm telling you. You might be tempted to do something because you feel like a little activated, but it's coming from a shadowy part of yourself that is currently going through a transformation, all right? Let the blind spot be illuminated here. Bottom of the deck, this could be in relation to a Knight of Wands, okay? Sagittarian energy coming in there. Wheel of Fortune. Somebody is trying to transform a situation. You may feel like they're keeping secrets from you. You may feel like they've done something wrong against you. This person is protected, whoever they are. They're saved and exiled. I see that. This person's moving forward free and clear, whoever they are. They got protection. So see, if you try to do something against somebody who's got protection over them because where they're going is in alignment with spirit, that could be highly problematic for you. So be mindful of how you move here, all right? You could have a strong Sagittarius placement in your chart, all right? Look at this. Let the messages come in. Let the messages come in that makes things clear with the Fool. This is like road opening energy. That old stuff, it's done. This is a brand new cycle. We ain't there anymore. You're not in Kansas anymore. Like, things are really transforming here. This is about you really grokking the voice of the waters, okay? So you could be dealing with a water sign. Pisces references kind of coming in here with the serpent energy, Scorpio energy. Certainly Cancer can come in too. We had their energy introduce itself as well. This is also about listening to your intuition, okay? So yeah, you may be feeling heated, okay? But if you drop in for a moment and you really sink into what you're feeling, what's behind that? Go a little deeper than that. You need to go more into the subtle territory, because you might find that what's really there is a sense of frustration or activation because something in you feels really dinged. And that is what has you kind of wanting to take some kind of quick action that could really backfire. It could turn against you here, okay? The answers that you need are going to come that will secure this new beginning for you. So don't sabotage it for yourself. Let me do a cut of the deck. And with the Fool there, that could be coming in around Aries energy, Aquarian energy. 7 of Wands. Yeah, I mean, this energy is pretty fierce. Like, you feel like you got a bone to pick, or like you need to defend something here. It's coming in with the Griffin energy. For me, this is always about like a dark wizard sending in a griffin to steal another's treasure, you know? Be mindful about this, because where you pick a fight, it could turn pretty aggressive. You don't want to head into this territory. This is a warning of things that could come. And where you are cozying up to somebody that you know has done you wrong in the past, like somebody who's done you dirty, somebody you can't trust, and you think something's changed. Oh, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. You know, this could have you warming up to somebody who would be very happy to, you know, stab you in the back again. And their intentions could be invisible. This person's really good at cloaking their intentions. So do be aware of that. This is something you need to be mindful of. It's time to cut the cord with the 2 of Swords. And if you have been moving within a certain untrustworthy social circle, dynamic, partnership, agreements, do be aware that it's by breaking this circle that opposing barriers will be lifted from you, and this is what will bring you victory. All right? And in relation to any kind of spiritual work, if you are an alchemist, if you are considering doing something, or if you have been manifesting with a particular group of people, you might want to go solo. You know, it might not be the best time to gather in circle. I'm just saying, okay? That would be in your best interest. If you do this, it's going to bring you some kind of success. It's definitely time to cut something off. It's in your best interest if you want to open up this road. Wish you well, Taurus. I know you'll do the right thing.